Hey, welcome to the Tom Mo Show. Hey, Marty Mark.
I hear you. I hear you. Real good. Yeah, that's her end. I hear you real good. What up, Slicky Blue? Y'all liking shit before we get started? I see Rick just popped up in here. Bonnie can't hear you. You might gotta leave out and come back in, Bonnie. I'ma test. I got. She can't hear. She can't hear.
That joke be rocking, Rick. You
Hello?
Rick? Can you hear me? Welcome to the Tom Mo Show with my main man, Marty Mall, $1 Million Moment. And my main man, Slick Rick. I think we're having some difficulties, man, but we're gonna work it out. Today is Thursday, right? Thursday, the 25th, right? Can you hear me, Rick? Let me bring Rick in here. Slicky woo woo. Okay. Where you go, Rick? Where you go, Rick? Can you still can't hear me? Oh my God. Marty Moore said he hear me good. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you clear. I don't know why she can't hear. She might got to close out one of them apps, something using her
Your mic.
or Bluetooth or something. She
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Tell her to put some earphones on. Point
You
at
got
your
some
ear.
headphones, Bunny?
You got to point at the ear.
All right.
That's not doing me no. You can hear me.
You got them. Do you have some?
She can't hear nothing. Probably got to hang up and call her, man. Probably got to call her.
I'm gonna call her. Let's see if she's on the phone or she on the computer. Rick, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Excuse
what's up.
me.
She probably got to cut her computer.
Bless you.
Yes.
Okay. We can hear you, but you can't hear us. I was asking you if you had some headphones that you could plug into your device.
Answer the volume up.
And then make sure your volume is turned up. Okay. On the phone, yeah, on the phone. Hey, and there's no way. Let's do it again, band and show. Can you hear me now, Benita? I can hang up now. I can hang the phone up. You ready? All right. Everybody can hear one another, right?
Yeah, so far.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
There we go. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to the Tom Mo Show. My main man, Marty Ma, $1 Million Moments. And this is my man, Rick. Bonnie Rick come up with us down Bury Farm with me back in the day.
Good evening, Rick. How are you?
Finding yourself?
I'm doing just great. Just great. Thank you.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
You remember down the farm when Red Essence first started out, Bunny was their first female singer, man.
Oh, yeah. So that means she went to Ballou then, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, I went to Ballou as well.
Yeah, Quentin and I, Foots, the original drummer, were in class
Right.
together for like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, me and little Benny and Benny Haskell and all of us were together.
Oh, okay. I might know you.
That's why I said you went to Ballou too.
Yep, because sometimes they used to come to my house. Benny,
Yeah, because
DC,
it was
Lil Benny. Yeah,
there you go.
to the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because me, Benny, and Lil Benny Haskell, and DC, we all used to do woodshop together.
Ah, okay. All right.
Okay, well, we ain't gonna turn this into the Blue High School
alumni thing, huh?
So look, we got our special guest, Miss Benita, on the Tom O Show today, man, to present us with some good, healthy advice about life. Okay, this is something, man, that we all have heard from one time to another. And it's time for us to most definitely take this thing serious. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you, Cuz, and man, give us what you got.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me here on the Tom O Show, $1 Million Moments with Marty Ma. Well, everybody, first of all, let me tell you this. I am not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and neither of that, no doctor studies, anything like that. What I am a certified mental health aid responder. So this is part of one of the projects that I do on my job. I work for the federal government. And I be researching and giving them all the good nuggets about mental health and wellness. So when my cousin said, you want to do something on the podcast? I said, you know what? May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just want to give you guys a little nugget about that. I'm sorry.
Excuse me for a minute. Hey, Rick, you can't be.
That ain't me.
That's somebody touching something, man. It's making a whole bunch of.
Yeah, it's not me.
Everybody except Bunny mute their mics. That's what we're gonna do until it's time for the call.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Gotcha.
Bunny. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So basically, I'm just here to talk about some beliefs about mental illness and things about what goes on with our Black mental health. I'm just gonna
It's still going on, Tomo.
I don't hear anything.
Tom to mute his mic. But that's your earring hitting the microphone.
Okay, if it is, I'm gonna take it off.
That's
take
you
off some of this beauty. Not a problem.
That's all it is.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
So,
my few minutes here to give you guys some nuggets. Again, I'm not a certified psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm just a first aid mental health respondent. What that basically means is I study to be certified to know when a person has a mental illness, whether or not they need the police or they need the ambulance. That's basically what I do here. So I'm here to talk about how we have this terrible suicide rate among our Black youth. It's increasing faster and faster. And it's always with our racial ethnic group. We need to do something about that. Blacks adults, most of us living below the poverty line, are more than twice likely to report serious psychological distress because of their financial difficulties and things of that nature. And in our Black communities, we got some communities, they accept the idea of mental illness because they don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? So basically, we got to let them know what this basically means. First of all, we have to identify. People have to identify and address the symptoms that a family member or a friend has. Then sometimes there's a cause for the symptom, for a person to have that issue. We all been through something tragic, happy, sad, what have you. But sometimes these symptoms are stem from a weakness, a personal weakness, character defect. People develop mental illnesses throughout the years. Timeline. We got to pull it together, mainly for our people, for our young Black youth, to let them know that this is an illness and it's acute. Sometimes it can be chronic. Bipolarism, schizophrenia, that's really, really common within our Black communities. And most of the time, these young men or women who have these issues don't take their medication. They may drink or they may not drink, and it leads to a violent act. And sometimes the police beat them up because they don't know that these people have an illness or anything of that nature. So that's basically a consequence. So we got to get some controllability here. We got to reach out and see where can we figure out how they can make sure they're investing enough monies in these budgets so these people can get help. So basically, that's what I came here today to let everybody know. So
okay,
how we? Yes.
So what is some of the actual symptoms to be able to recognize that maybe this person or that person may do have an illness?
Depression, darkness, don't want to go nowhere, confined to their room, don't eat. That's sometimes people of a mental illness don't bathe. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to go out, don't want to be social. You know, it's the cultural factors. It's a social, stereotypical thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I'm not like that person. You know, sometimes things can be traumatizing for people that have experiences. So those are basically some of the typical things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Lupus. But yeah, we all know somebody that have mental health in some form.
Correct.
But do we, because we have already seen that a lot of guys with mental health that have been hurt from the police. People, they doing something, they acting out, they going through one of their phases, they call the police come, it ends up in a tragedy. And then
Yeah.
they're saying, well, he's mentally ill, he had a problem, and why y'all shoot him, that type of thing, right?
Right.
So what do we do? Like, because I think some people know they got some illness, but just won't turn themselves in. Won't turn themselves in.
Well,
Because if you know, for real, like certain situations, certain things, you shouldn't act out this type of way, then you need to be thinking like, well, maybe I need to get some type of help, man, because people done told you before. When people start calling you crazy and all that, they got a reason why they do that. Either you crazy funny, you crazy when
And you know what? You can't call it crazy. It's called mental illness. Stop saying they crazy, because that's a chemical imbalance that they have no control over. And this is very serious, because I call you crazy all the time. Crazy. You know? So with this, when people are recognized or they are struggling with this,
but you know, in order to do that,
with this, when people are recognized or they are struggling with this,
but you know it.
Well, there is a thing called a safety plan. People have to figure it out. If you know you have a person in your family that has a mental illness, try to get them some help. But I'm going to tell you something. When you try to get them this help, it's up to them to want it. You understand what I'm saying? And have a safety plan, step by step, for when it's ready, for when a person feels depressed or suicidal or in a crisis, start a step. People need to limit their news consumption, because when you are of a mental illness, and you're watching this stuff day by day, this news, that's a consumption. It can replay stories of things that have taken, upon you and things like that, and send you into a loop for those that do have an illness. Some people's mental illnesses are different than others. Some people can be bipolar and don't know that. Some people can be bipolar and schizophrenic. People have to want the help. They have to want the help from their family members and things like that. And how we can help is we can ask and listen. Be active with our loved ones. Give them support. Check with them often to make sure that they're okay. If they're showing any warning signs of being suicidal, speaking about, what's left here for me? I ain't nothing left. I ain't got nobody no more. You got to be careful of how people do these things. And you try to practice, active listening technique. Listen to them, and let them know that you're listening, and don't judge them. So that's yes.
I know a situation like that, but even though the individual has insight of what's going on with them, they pretty much still be in denial about the situation. They won't take their medication, want to think that they're, in control, but they fly off the hook. And then when you tell them about it, they're like, I'm out. Sometimes you have to step back from people like that.
And you do have to step back from them. However, you have to try to help them. You have to know what to say to them, what to say and how to say to these people. Some people don't want to take their medicine, but we can't isolate them. We can't not have our family member or friend or whatever around. If they want to help, we'll help them. But if we can't make them want help.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Right.
Because that big denial part, it gets devastating. You know what I mean? Because the situation that they put themselves in, when you try to help them, they don't want to help. But then when they put themselves in those situations, they think back to themselves and they won't tell you, but they should, accept the fact that okay, I need to be on this. You know what I mean? But
Right.
the one that I know is in total denial. They don't want to do it.
So
Some
look, how about this? How about this? What's up, Angie? How about this? Now I know a young man that have some issues and take medication. I think he's about probably 15 years old, kid. And I was having a conversation with him, and I was asking about the medication. Did he like the medication or not? You know what I mean? How do you feel? And he said to me that, some of the medicine is all right, but it's one medicine that he cannot stand to take because it makes him feel like he's real high. He have no control on himself.
It puts him what they call it him in an altered state. He may
Mhm.
think it's high, but it's an altered state. It's
Mhm.
calming his chemical imbalance. That's basically what it's doing.
Yeah, but he's saying he don't like it though. He don't. He'll sleep all day. He's saying this ain't something he want.
Well, I think he should go back to his treatment doctors to see if they have an alternative medication for him. Again,
Mhm.
I can't diagnose nobody because I'm just a certified first aid mental health responder. For
Right.
instance, if I come to your home and you have some guests there, and the guests I look at and they start talking like somewhat out of their head, and you don't hear them, and they're doing abnormal things, and you don't see them, and I notice this, I'll speak to them in a manner to which I was taught. But when they get a little out of hand, oh, they don't need the ambulance, they need the police.
Right.
That's what I was certified to call to do.
Right. To be able to make that decision.
Yes. Whether or
Right.
not you need to go to hospital, or we need to call, the law to get you controlled, to
Right.
get you somewhere so you can be okay.
Now I done heard in some occasions where they called the police instead of a medical person
The
that
ambulance.
has these type of cases. Not the ambulance. I'm talking about what is the name of the person that they deal with? I mean, like the doctor or
A
therapist.
counselor, yes, someone of
Right.
that nature. But sometimes what they'll do is they'll call the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
Some people,
Okay.
like, we were in some of the meetings on my job, they were saying that some people call the fire department because the fire department can also EMTs can access these people, but when they're violent,
Mm-hmm.
you have to call the law.
Right. And violent mean what? Yelling, screaming, get back.
Threatening.
Physical confrontation.
Right. Yes. That's when
Mhm.
you have to call the law. So
now you're hold up. So now you're saying that they gotta actually put their hands on you.
no,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
don't have to put their hands on you for them to
Right.
be irate.
Okay. I'm just trying to see
Well-
where we giving them a pass at when they jump out there.
See, that, like she said, you have to really study that individual, know that individual. Sometimes the behavior comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? But the reaction that you give to their action is whether it's violent or whether it's like a depressed stage or whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Mhm.
if they come at you in a violent way, you try to, chastise the situation before it gets any violent or go to be more violent. You know what I mean? And if you can't chastise, that's when you really got to call them police. But if they're acting like in a mental state, running around, stumping or something like that, or screaming and fussing, that's when you might call in the,
What you wanna-
paramedics.
what you want to do is have them to come in a safe space. Let them know, come on, let's go to a safe space. And that means put them in the bedroom, shut the door, and call the people. That's the safe space for them. Because there's nobody in that safe space but them.
So you're gonna lock them
Okay,
into the
so-
room.
It ain't even about locking them in, Mr. Bartley.
Well, I mean, that was the statement you added on that.
Space, and then you put them in a room and you
Safe
lock them in
space.
there. What is
You
that?
You're putting them in a safe space, Mr. Bartley. You have to tell the person there's that you're putting them in a
Okay.
safe space.
All right. So it's the language that you gotta use.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
You're putting them in a safe space.
Okay.
Sometimes when they get to hollering and screaming, you know what they're doing? They're stimming. Angela wants to know who's speaking. Could you let her know who's speaking? Hello,
She
Angela.
can't hear you. She can't hear
She
you.
said, is that Bonnie? It is your sister. Good evening. Yes, that's what, and you know, we have to identify. There's a there's a timeline with beliefs about this mental illness thing, consequences. Then there can be some controllability. Like I said, they get to being irate. They're not punching or hitting on you. Come on, let's go to a safe space here. Let me help you out here. He said, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get you some water. That's when you go get the water. Call whatever you need, be it the fire department or the police, and you take them that water and make sure they're okay. If they're violent, you have to probably physically control them until the officers get there. You know,
I don't think I want to be in a confrontation with somebody in that state of mind, because I heard they be like extra strong and everything.
And that's why
Look,
you
I'm telling you the truth. I've experienced that recently. You know,
but you put the person in a safe space, Rick?
No, they were like a pit bull.
Okay, and that means that they're not taking their medication, right?
I told you that. Yes. They were like a pit bull. The police had to be called.
Yes, and
they had a don't give a F attitude.
Right.
They went ham.
She says that yes, you do put them in a safe space, and then you call. She says CPAC over DC General. DC General is no longer here, ma'am. Did y'all send him somewhere else now?
Yeah, because DC General been closed.
Been closed about 15 years now.
Why you don't know DC General been closed for real?
So
now don't look. That's a sad story right there, because you still go back to the little girl that went missing over there and still have not been found. Well, we know she's dead, but I didn't mean to change the subject, you know.
Yeah, but that's what y'all doing. You change the subject because that's another page, right?
Right.
Let's stick with the mental health conversation. So I know that a lot of people that's homeless are in that mental state of mind where, you know, they most definitely need some work done, because
okay, so you'd be surprised how a person becomes homeless. There can be a vet, a person that served in the military and never got help. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish because I want to iterate on that.
Okay, it could be a woman that was badly abused, mentally abused, and never got help. It could be someone that had it going on financially and things that just happened. And, you know, their mindset, they can't no longer deal with that. So you'd be surprised who's under them sheets and them streets.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, now, this is the part I wanted to iterate. The veterans that are homeless, that's by choice. But the choice that they make is from a mental capacity too, because I'm a veteran. The VA offers every opportunity for a veteran not to be homeless. The thing that I've came to discover about that is this: the average veteran that is homeless, they have an addiction problem, and they don't want to follow orders. Okay, so when they have this addiction, they're satisfying their addiction instead of trying to help their mental capacity. But basically, the addiction has probably destroyed their mind even more, because they're so focused on their addiction, and a lot of them become bipolar behind that. You know, so I mean.
And you have a twofold thing here, because some of them are trying to get it together, and with that mental illness and not being able to get the benefits and everything that they need, because it's such a disparity among veterans of African American and minority versus those, you know, of other. They get their disability percentages quickly and their benefits before you will. The Black Veterans Alliance, they have a lawsuit against the Veterans Administration. But in reference to this mental thing here, the Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health reports, it shows that Black adults in the U.S. are more likely than white adults to report symptoms of emotional distress, such as sadness, homelessness, and feeling that everything isn't an effort, and you'd be surprised about people with their financial problems, and they tend to increase the chances of them being seriously psychologically distressed as well. But we hope that this can be turned around, and within our Black communities to get some help here. To get some help.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think every time it come around to election time, they started getting the homeless off the streets. You know that, right?
Yes, I know this.
And this is what's going to happen now, because this day is going to start election again, right? Now, when it comes down to mental health, now when they go over there to clean these guys up off the street, because they did it before, I've seen it. Do they consider them mental health, or do they just consider them people that's on the street?
Well, you see, that I don't know, because I have not looked that deep outside of what I've been trained to say. But we have to know the facts. Due to the cultural stamina of our culture, competent providers distrust medical providers due to the historical abuse and the cost of lack of insurance. And some people will abuse the medications that they give. They sell the medications and stuff like that. Some adults want help, but they often struggle to get the access to mental health care that they need. So this thing is real, and there's some places some resources for Black mental health. And
well, but Benita, hold on 1 minute. Let's go to a quick commercial, and then we can come back and proceed on what you need. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stick and stay.
What's up, y'all? Whatever you do, don't forget to watch the Tom Mo Show Monday.
I had to stop that, man. I had to stop that because we have changed the time. So I do not wish to be running a commercial that's giving out the wrong time. So I want to try another one. Sorry for that, guys.
Sure.
Let me try another one. Let's go here with this one.
Hey, what's up? This is Donnie O.J., a.k.a. the Fat Man from Put It In Your Mouth Records. Me and my homies want to send a shout out to Tom Mo. Me, Arganelli, Luke Nasty, man, Super Boss and Nova, man, the whole crew, man. Ooh, 2 times, you know what I mean? Man, keep doing what you know, because you never know who you might see on this show, sucker.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all already know we're on a new time, and a lot of commercials was made on the old time. So I'm in process of updating the commercials, man. So I really don't want to play one and be talking about we on at 9:30 to 10:30, because that's out. Beauty. Anyway, so back to mental health. I wanted to ask a question, because you're behind the scenes, and if something like on your job, if something was to happen in maybe in the meeting room or something, they will call you to have you come in to evaluate this person, or that just happened if you out just normally?
Well, if that person is in a room and that person breaks out, it's not my job as a federal government employee to maintain that person. Right. However, if a person is in a room, right, and I just so happen to be there, right, I will ask them, let me help you. What is it that you need? Let me help you. And then sometimes, like she said, it's not all mental. But most we're going to say 70% of the time, when a person goes off on a job, it's real. And it is mental.
So what about this then? What about when these kids are shooting up these schools?
So, Tommy, like I told you when I came on, that I
They
am a
call
certified
call
mental
me
health responder.
they call me Tom Mo. They call me Tom Mo, man.
Well, I'm gonna call you what I know.
Don't do that, man.
Okay,
There
okay,
you
Mr.
go.
Bartley, I apologize.
She trying to pull a big cuz card, Rick, you know?
Yeah.
I hear.
Okay, so
Well, the thing that's going on with these shootings within these schools and these mass shootings, that's some long time illness. And these things with the children, I think it's because it's too much craziness on social media. I'm sorry, you all. They need to put them phones down. Get back to the old school way. Read your book. Play basketball outside. Hopscotch. You know what I'm saying? Hide and seek. You know, they don't do the things that we did back in the day when we were coming up, because that social media and them games that got these kids, it's just a puzzle to me. Because you know,
Yeah.
it's and then they some kids are on them all night long. That's
yeah,
not a good thing for a child.
but we
No.
need to hold these parents responsible for that, though. Okay? Because
Correct.
especially if we talking about kids. Now we ain't talking about adults, we talking about kids.
Okay,
And
then let's go back to this mental illness thing, because
Okay.
I'll digress here.
Yeah, you should.
For instance, the young man that got his gun. He was a teenager, got his gun, and went to the church, and you know what I mean. These are people, I think, when they're teenagers and doing these mass shootings, they're watching too much of those social media things about violence. To me,
No, it is.
watching
This is what they
movies.
watching. They're watching Grand Theft Auto. They're going out and orchestrating what they played on Grand Theft Auto.
But Grand Theft Auto,
I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing. But I mean, there's more to it than just that. But that's, to me, that's part of it. You know.
most of the time when these kids do the things that they do, I think for me, you either trying to have a gang initiation going on, or there is some stigma here. You know, you have an issue. You know, so what I was trying to do was put some resources here in the chat for resources for Black mental health, if you would like me to do that, or I can text it to you if you.
No, put it in the chat, and then Marley will post it up.
Okay. So one, we have the Black Mental Health Alliance. Can he hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Okay. So can you put that up there for me? The Black Black Mental Health Alliance. Marley Marl, $1 Million Moments.
You never know. Marley Moore probably stepped away to the restroom or something.
Okay, so I can type it in here. We have Black Mental Health Alliance, and you know, people have to look it up because it doesn't have all the information here. I'm just giving you a nugget. Like I said, I'm not certified or bona fide. I am certified to be just a first aid responder. And I just wanted to come on here and give you guys a nugget about our crises that's going on in our culture. This mental illness thing is mean. Okay?
Yeah, most definitely mean. It's mean all over the place, man, because the simple fact that you got to be able to know when somebody has a mental illness,
right,
or somebody just acting crazy.
What's crazy? Because crazy and mental. So a family member talks about a crazy uncle that has to get hospitalized. Younger generations may grow to believe that having a mental illness means you can't function in society. That's not true.
Right.
So I don't know. So crazy and mental illness, that's just a stigma. That word crazy is a stigma.
But no, I don't want to say it's a stigma, because we do have crazy people out here. Okay.
And you're correct, Tomo. However, the people to which are crazy have a chemical imbalance. They're not balanced like we are. Something ticks them to go the other way.
Right.
So that's
and it could be the slightest thing.
Yes, of course. So I have something here called the Center for Healing Racial Trauma. And mental illness can stem from coming from the forecasters and stuff. Look what they had to endure. You never know, what genes and what chromosome enter into a mind and it crosses and it ain't right. You'd be surprised.
But that's going way back though.
Wow.
I don't think that it's still going to affect if your great grandmother or grandfather had an illness. I don't think it'll be right here today in 2023 with the
correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So there's a man that went in the military, served 20 years in the military, had a wife and 5 children, came home, he was a different man. He came home being a different man, taking care of his family. But one day he beating up the wife. The next day he beating up the kids. The next day he beating up the wife. The next day he beating up the kids. And finally,
PTSD.
He finally got
PTSD.
some help. But guess what? His sons grew up thinking that it was okay to
do the same thing.
Wives. The daughters did not want a man unless he was beating on her. So that stemmed from what their father was doing. Go ahead. Somebody's got this thing. That's right. That's right. That's right. Who is that? That you, Molly Ma?
No. That's Big G.
All right now. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you so much. So much. That's right. That's right.
Slicky woo woo. I just because I know just like people all of a sudden everybody going through this thing what's they call it some kind of emotional state where they act out on it, and then after that they say, oh no, like what's they call that joint, man? It's an illness. And I think people use illness? And I think people use it to do crazy stuff sometimes.
Bipolarism. People
right. There we go.
There are different stages of bipolarism.
Okay. That's what
I'm only speaking what I know. Again, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I don't have no degree. Like I said, I'm just a mental health first aid responder.
Yeah, but you giving us good information.
Yes,
that's important. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
So I already know that Angie said we all crazy.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that someone would state such on a podcast to say that we're all crazy.
Yeah, that's what Angie said. Angie said we all crazy too.
Oh my! What, Mr. Bartley? Oh my! These your listeners. Speaking of such, oh my!
We real over here. We gonna keep it 100, man. That's
let's break the stigma down then, because reducing the stigma could increase the likelihood that individuals with a mental health issues will seek treatment. That's a stigma they may hopefully. Treatment could help them live happier and have more fulfilling lives. That's if they want the treatment. Right. Education surrounding mental illness and normalizing mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you, Rick.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, but they have to want it.
Yes, right. They have to want it. Okay, it's important for providers to want to treat people, but guess what? Some people, probably 60 to 70% of them, don't have insurance. And they remain out there being beat up by the police, thrown in jail every other week because they have bipolar schizophrenia. And then some people will take their medication and drink on that, and that'll make them crazier.
Crazier.
More disabled.
You're using that word crazier?
Yeah. You said keep it real on the show.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
So I put I'm sorry, sir.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Okay. So I just put something up here that you can just go on Google and check it out. Resources for Black Mental Health. Black Mental Health Alliance, the Center for Healing Racial Trauma and Therapy for Black Girls. And I'm quite sure within all of the Mental Health Alliance, they have something for everybody.
Did you say you just put that in the chat? Okay.
I did.
Center
It's
for
in the
Health.
chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
it's right there. I see it.
It's
Can
in
you
the
see
chat.
it, Bunny?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Well, basically, that's all I have for you guys this evening in reference to mental
Mental
health.
health.
Next time I come, I'm going to talk about wellness, health and
Okay.
wellness. I'm going to talk about how you eat and what you eat and when you eat. You know, I learned all about that as well. So, Mr. Bartley, as Tom O, I appreciate you having me. Okay. And I will be back.
Well, we most definitely love you, Bonita.
Okay, next time I might
AKA
do a little
Bunny.
nugget for you. Do a little nugget for you next time.
Oh, man, you can give us one before you leave, though.
Give you a little nugget
Yeah,
right there.
give us one before you leave.
I came here as a certified mental health first aid
Okay,
responder.
well, take that hat off and put the singing hat on.
Okay, wait a minute.
Give us one.
Bring us joy. Bring us joy.
You bring me joy when I'm down. Oh, so much joy when I lose my way. Your love comes shining on me. Thank you very much, Mr.
Good
Bowers,
God,
for having
man,
me
why
on
you
your
cut
show.
that thing off? Why you ain't hit that second part, man? You
I saw your face, and then I knew we would be friends. I was so afraid when your arms, they said, come to me.
Go ahead, Bonita. I love it.
we love you, Bunny.
Okay, thank y'all for having me. I'll
Appreciate
see you
you.
next time. We're going to talk about health and
Appreciate you
wellness.
being here.
All
That's
right, baby.
right. Getting these bodies in order and knowing what to eat to survive.
That's right.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you. All
This
right.
is-
Bye-bye now.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, wasn't that a treat, man? Wasn't that a
Yes,
treat?
it was. Yes, it was.
She gave us information that we most definitely needed to hear. Anybody that was watching, anybody that will watch later, need to understand this mental health thing, man, is serious and is
Serious,
out here.
very.
And a lot of people, you know, hate to say it, but a lot of people that we deal with in life out here have a mental health state of mind sometimes. Now, I'm going to say sometimes. I'm not going to say all the time, because like you said earlier, Rick, they can be good for 1 minute and then snap the next.
Yes,
You
totally.
know what I mean? So I understand that. And I'm saying, and like Angie was saying, like, you know, we all got a mental health problem. And I want to go with that, because I know sometimes I can be a little off. Trust me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can too, but I try to. Now I try to refrain from letting people get up in my head to put me to that level. When, you know, because that's how you get there sometimes. If somebody rent that space, you let them rent that space in your head, and you go up in there. Sometimes you, after the situation occurred, then you think to yourself, "I should have left, or should have walked where, whatever." Yeah.
Rick, how can somebody rent space in your head, bro? Please tell me. I just want to know.
All right, I'm going to lay it down to you, champ.
All right.
You can be at peace right now. You're sitting there, you minding your business. Somebody comes over, starts to annoy you. You tell them, go ahead. I'm not with that. But they continue to annoy you. So if you don't remove yourself, and that annoying becomes a nuisance, you react. Now,
Okay,
how
but
your reaction is.
But where's the renting the space of your mind, or where that part at? You ain't say nothing about how they.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Okay.
When I say renting the space, instead of you removing yourself, you stayed there, so you gave them opportunity. You opened the door to them. That's that space you rented to them. You took heed to what they was trying.
I just wanted to hear you explain it, though. That's, you know what I mean? Because I knew what you was talking about, but I wanted to hear how you explained it, because the second time you explained it was the same way I was looking at it. If you sit there and give them that much time, so now they're renting that space in your mind, you know. But
right, because you should have removed yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have removed yourself because you knew it was overall it was starting to become a nuisance, but you thought you could kind of like de-escalate it. You know what I mean? But if you remain there and they continue to be that nuisance, like I said, you open that door for them to wire you up more.
Yeah, I just
So
hope, man, that we out here as grown adults, man, we understand that, we think for ourselves and we allow things to happen in our lives. We, as the individual, allow things to happen in our lives because in certain situation, you are most definitely in control to be able to not
right,
be in the situation. But sometimes you get side blinded, you know what I mean? Sometimes you think one thing going one way, then it'll go another way. So sometimes you gotta just be careful, but that's not all the time. So it's a give and take in life, period. You know what I'm saying? We all want
right,
to be great every day, but then we gotta have some days where some things need to be corrected. Something happened. You know what I mean? Somebody said somebody need to be corrected, and then that leads into another turmoil of a mental state of how you gonna occur. You know what I'm saying?
right. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm peaceful all the time. Me personally, I'm peaceful all the time. It's other people, like you said, try to rent some space. And I ain't with it. You can't rent space here. How that joint says, how that thing say, nah, I got the wrong one. I was gonna say a house is not a home, but that ain't the one I want to use. That's not the one I want to use. Dang, I can't.
Well, it all boils down to one more statement, and that is people
That's right,
do to
and
you. It's a mindset. You can control your thoughts and your thoughts.
most definitely,
That's
yeah, Big G, most
right.
definitely, man. Yeah,
It goes down. That goes with this statement right here. Man, I got hurt and get my mouth fixed. I think. But anyway,
man.
it goes with this statement right here. People do to you what you allow and let them do. If you allow them to have that space, then you suffer the consequences of dealing with that to a degree.
But that's
How you
sometimes.
solve it, yeah, that's sometimes. But I'm just saying in general, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It pretty much balls back to the statement that the young lady just made, you know? It's a mindset.
Most definitely. As you can see, man, I'm tired already. I've been working all day long, man. I really wanted Miss Benita to come on here, man, and share that good information like she did, man. You know what I mean?
Right?
And of course, it's always a pleasure to see you, man. You've been hanging in here since I got you in here. You've been hanging.
Hey man, I'm telling you, it makes my day, bro. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know,
It ain't.
but what happened yesterday? What happened? Why you couldn't get in
Man, I
yesterday?
don't know. I don't know, Tama. You sent it back to me, and every time I go into it, the time was saying the time fun. Okay, what it was saying scheduled. No, it was saying ended. An hour and 2 minutes each time I tried to log in. I'm like, wow, what's going on here?
Yeah, because maybe but I sent maybe I was sending you an old link. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was what's happening. But I could have sworn I was sending you the same thing I was sending everybody else.
No, I mean you sent it to me twice, and it did the same thing twice. I'm like, wow.
Because it was the same thing.
Right. Yeah, basically. Okay.
But we got it straight today, though.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You see, I'm on board today.
Yeah. Ain't no lot of that, man. But yeah, man, I just know, man, that mental health thing, man, people sometimes they slide that thing, man. They act like, because people so used to calling people crazy. That's why
Yeah, most of the time it's in a joking manner, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I be wanting a person to really break it down to me, as in, like, for real, separate the crazy from the mental health. I need that to be broken down to me to an understanding, because it's like they one within a two. You know what I mean? Because once you start acting crazy, now they're saying you got a mental health problem. but before you start acting crazy, you was cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see,
Like,
that's the thing about it. You in a lot of cases like that, you have to be around the individuals enough to know whether it's a mental thing or whether it's just being crazy. Someone
okay,
just walk up to you.
and see how you said that, just being crazy. Okay, what's that? What is just being crazy?
To me, being crazy is acting wild. You know what I mean? Saying dumb things, doing dumb things for attention sometimes. You know what I mean? Or just, but you have to be around that individual enough to know whether that's the natural way of them or is that the mental side of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to distinguish sometimes.
Yeah. Everybody do not be really having mental illness. They just using it to get away with some things.
I agree with that.
You're right. But see, this is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying you got to be able to separate the crazy and the mental health. Don't be acting like you're crazy and you ain't mental health, because now you just need to get what you got coming. But if you're mental health, then I need to give you a pass because I know you really don't know better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but people always calling people crazy, man. I just be trying to figure out, a person gonna be crazy when they've been mistreated, somebody doing something wrong to them, somebody treating them a certain kind of way. That's when people act crazy. But mental health is something where you suffered this from birth.
Right. And and you
only go up 2 flights, but it's 4 flights up there.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
it ain't that I'm making a joke about it. I'm trying to put it in.
No, you're not. I mean, it's reality.
You know, and that don't mean that they less than a person, because a lot of those guys and females that do go through that, they do have some strong qualities in other parts of their life, man. It's a lot of them, may do sports good, read good, you know, all kinds of whatever they lacking in one area, they're strong in 2 or 3 more areas.
Right.
And they be smart.
Right.
Man. So no shade thrown on them. I'm just using that for a parable.
An example.
Understand? Yeah. And that, you know, but like I say, I just need to know the difference, because you just ain't gonna be just doing anything with me and my loved ones and all that. And if I know you got a mental state, then man, you may get a pass. So you know what I mean? And I'm gonna stay away from them people like that. I don't want to be.
Yeah, it's best too, because you know you end up in a situation that you would have avoided if you knew it was gonna stem out like that. You know.
If you got mental health, I ain't trying to deal with you like that anyway. I'm gonna pray for you and love on you, but I can't. You can't be around me, because I'm just not. I'm mental health too, and I ain't gonna be responsible, man. When you know you say the wrong thing to me. You know, most of the times, crazy is different.
True that.
Okay,
but
we established that, but we haven't established how
to distinguish a mental health person.
Yeah. I think like, you know, I don't know. But it's about time for us to get up out of here. It's about time for us to go. Hey, look, I had to come to another part of the studio to get on. My computer, y'all was on it. Well, we was on it, but I couldn't hear y'all back there. So I had to come over to this part to be on this computer. I don't know why I couldn't hear y'all though. So that's going to bother me all night. Why I couldn't hear y'all on that computer. And everything is set up like it usually be set up.
Well, see, you know what? I want to start doing mine on my computer, but you send a link to my phone. How can I transfer it to my laptop?
You gotta send the link to your email. I gotta send
okay. I'll send you the email. I'll send it to you. I'll send you my email then.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
What's up, bro? What's happening with you, Greg? That's my little brother, Rick.
Hey man, what's happening?
Real brother, man. Real. Like both.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey man, how's Tracy doing, man?
She doing okay.
Shall I say hello when you talk to her again?
I sure will. mental health people don't think they got a problem. They really don't.
They don't. They don't.
Good. They think they're good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You know, I know some people, man, that got some stuff going on, man. But it's life, man. We just trying to survive out here, man. We just trying to survive out here. That's it. That's all, man. You know. Ma, stop playing with me, man. Anyway, we gotta go, man. Rick, give him something positive, man. You know, to just wail on until tomorrow.
Keep your head up, stay focused, say a prayer tonight, and thank God when you wake up in the morning.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That joint remind me of that song, Keep Your Head Up. No matter what's going on.
Keep your head up.
We ready to do some singing. Hey, so look, man, y'all already know, man, it's nice out. I think maybe all the way up to Sunday. They talking about raining on Sunday. So, man, look, y'all already know, man, be safe out here on this holiday, this weekend. A lot gonna be going on, man, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow, man. Same time, 6 o'clock, man, p.m. Be right here for the Tom Mo Show. My main man, Marty Marl, $1 Million Moments, man, and my guest, our homie, Rick. I call him Slick Rick. You know what I mean? So anyway, we out of here, man. As you always know, that I tell you before I go, if ain't no one told you they love you today,
peace and love. Peace and love.
This time to the next time. Peace.
Howdy. Peace.
We out of here.